Okay, we are back, and I should have gone back to sleep already, but I wanted to talk about these. Um, I woke up early by accident, and I have way too long before I have to go to work, and I don't like being awake for a long time before I go to work because I usually get tired about an hour before I have to start getting ready, and then I'm filled with anger and regret that I didn't just stay asleep longer. Anyway, hello, everybody. We're here to talk about the 1996 fucking masterpiece, October Rust by Typo Negative. And this album is so fucking cool. It's really, really good. It's got such a wonderful sound. Um, these two albums, um, meaning Bloody Kisses and October Rust, to me are like peak Typo Negative, where there's some really beautiful, enjoyable music here. We've got some great vocal work by our big guy Pete Steele. We've got awesome work by the band, playing the instruments, of course. And just like the song compositions are incredible. The music is beautiful. It just all comes together so fucking well. I mean, this album starts with one of their best songs, "Love You to Death," which is fucking. It's so good. It's so good. And then we continue with fucking hit after hit, in my opinion. Right? I don't mean hit like like radio success or whatever. I mean, like, I just think all of these are just fucking incredible. Um, it's funny. I bought this album at one point and took it with me when I was going to visit my dad for the weekend. We popped it in to his stereo in his car, and a couple of songs in, he like turned it down a little bit, and he asked me, "Is this like a greatest hits album?" And I was like, "No, this is just the album." And he was like, "Wow," and that always stuck with me. That this album was so good that he had to interrupt it and ask, "Is this like a Is this like a collection of their best songs? Because this is incredible." Which that's always been in my head every time I think of this album. Was just it was like, wow, that's pretty cool that he was asking about that, because I think that says something. It says that he really fucking likes it. But yeah, God, this album has a feeling to it that I just really enjoy. There is a color association thing that I've talked about with. I think I've only really brought it up during the Marilyn Manson albums, but this album feels green to me, and I mean, coincidentally, there's green on the cover. But yeah, it's got. I think part of it is because of the song "Green Man" and "Be My Druidess." There's sort of this, just like feeling I get while listening to the song, of that color. Um, which again, it might just be meaningless nonsense that no one relates to, but I don't know. Just thought I'd mention it. But anyway, picking my top three for this one ended up being pretty fucking tough, because it sometimes just depends on what I want to listen to off of this album, which songs are the best for me. Because God, when I'm like ready to hear it, well, let's talk. Okay, let's talk about my top three, and then I'll finish that thought, assuming I remember to finish it. My number three pick is going to be "My Girlfriend's Girlfriend." It is one of the shorter songs that is on this album, but also it's atypical amongst their music for that reason. Is I think probably on average most of their songs tend to be longer. But yeah, the song is awesome. It's got a great music video, and I don't know. I've always appreciated music like this, where it's sort of it talks about something that I think a lot of people, um, I guess I don't know like the average person's views on things, but like I like music that acknowledges things that aren't, just like a typical man loves woman, like in this case, it's like a polyamorous couple of three people, or another band that I really enjoy, the Genitorturers. They sing about like kinky shit and stuff. Like I like music that does stuff like that. But yeah, this song is it's fun. It has like a really kind of groovy vibe to it too, which definitely shines through in the music video because they've got the two girls and they're like kind of doing some like I don't know. I could picture them being in like a music video from the '60s or something, dancing on the stage or whatever. But yeah, good song, fun song. And, when you want to hear some Typo Negative, but you're not ready to commit to one of the longer songs necessarily, it's perfect for that, too. So my number two pick is definitely Love You to Death. I could not put that in my top three. Not only is it the first Typo Negative song I ever heard, but it has remained one of my favorites, even after exploring all the rest of their music. It's so good. It's also I do have a memory with it, which is NSFW, but still, even if it weren't for like things that might make me biased towards the song more, I just it's so like beautiful sounding, and that's one of those things is like their use of synthesizers and stuff is so good because I know there's like I think it's more for like the heavy metal crowd, but like I've heard things like like oh when a band has a keyboard it's gay, it's like listen to this music, it's gorgeous, it's so beautiful, like without the synthesizers Typo Negative would just be so different, and I think worse off. Is Josh the keyboardist? Yeah, Josh Silver I think is the keyboardist. Guy did amazing work with them. I should check into see if he's like working with anybody else nowadays, but because I think Kenny Hickey, the guitarist, and then I think is it Johnny Kelly as the drummer? I think they, unless I'm confusing it, and it's actually him and Josh, but I don't remember. I think they are in another band together, or at least were. I don't really remember, but anyway, my point is the keyboard just really makes a lot of this music really come together and be just like that much more interesting and beautiful. And God, Love You to Death is a perfect example of how beautiful their music can sound. And then my number one pick is Green Man. Green Man is my favorite song off of this album, hands down. It's one of my favorite songs in general, and it's probably my favorite Typo Negative song. And that's not unfortunately reflected in the amount of plays it gets on Spotify. But yeah, I highly recommend this song. I think there's just something about it. I just really love it. Special mentions, okay, to Red Water, because Red Water is, I mean, it's depressing, and it's not certainly a song that's going to make you feel happy listening to it necessarily, but God, it sounds good. And the I don't know how to describe it. Like the part of the song where like the last couple of seconds of the song for sure, like I think at least like the last half minute, if not more, that musical refrain, I guess I could call it, motif, whatever. That just sounds so good. I could listen to that for like 2 hours. I'm not even kidding. It's just like such an interesting sound. And I also want to give a special recognition to Wolf Moon. Wolf Moon is a great fucking song. And shit, while we're at it, Be My Druidess, and Burnt Flowers Fallen. This album is really fucking fantastic. And also the version that's on Spotify, or at least the one that I choose to listen to. Actually, do they have more than one listed? They do, but I listened to the special edition to have, which I know this is not only available here, but they have a cover of the song Black Sabbath, except they've changed the lyrics. And it's an awesome lead up to a great little chunk at the end. So even though that wasn't on the original release, I'm gonna mention it. It's pretty cool. In fact, I'm gonna take a moment to mention, because I don't know, I don't have anywhere else to mention these in particular because I'm not covering it. But they have a compilation album called "The Least Worst of Type O Negative," and there are a couple of songs on there that are not on any of their albums. And I'm going to mention them right now because, like I said, I don't have another place to mention them, but I really want to mention them because they're excellent. One of them is called "It's Never Enough," which is great. 12 Black Rainbows is another excellent song that, once again, is only available here. And then the other one is "Stay Out of My Dreams," which is really fantastic. Because, normally I don't mention compilation albums or live albums or anything, but those three songs I think were cut from other albums, and it's like, I don't know, they totally would have fit, in my opinion, for sure. They're all excellent songs. The fact that they were cut, in my opinion, certainly is no indicator that they were of like poor quality, but yeah, just thought I'd mention them. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. Next one we're going to talk about is, of course, World Coming Down. So we'll talk about that next time.